Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. There's an interesting situation here. We keep retesting this low level here at about 40,400, close approximate there, and it's not looking pretty. So we're going to look at some back-end data, kind of see if there's any hope here for Bitcoin to recover and rally back. But honestly, it looks like we're trying to close that gap on the CME futures there. And in case you're not familiar, post this on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. We do have a CME gap as low as 39,300, upwards to 40,500. So it's kind of like we keep retesting that level. We've tested it 2 days in a row, essentially, at least 2 trading days, Friday and Monday. And we can see here, of course, that we are looking at a standard situation where we keep retesting a level and it's more likely to break. Okay, so to me, I think 39,300 seems fairly inevitable at this point. It's just a matter of when that happens. But again, a lot of things need to happen between now and then for us to see that occur. So please understand, we're not in dire straits, but we're not fantastic either. More so on the edge of disaster, for lack of better terms, because a lot of alts will surge to the downside if we lose 40,000. Okay, we could also see the inverse too. Alts could just rally back when the price of Bitcoin recovers, if it does. Okay, so we'll look at some closure levels here today to see what is important to pay attention to as far as daily candlestick closures, etc. But right now, if we take a closer look here, we're going to zoom in a little further. Excuse me. We can see 40,150 is a very, very solid amount of liquidation level. Okay, so a lot of folks bought that most recent dip essentially and are now very, very concerned with the price action coming down to liquidate them. So again, all the more reason why I mentioned taking a long position with Bitcoin right now is kind of risky. We have 4 shorts open right now ourselves that we took 2 or 3 days ago, and they're all in profit. Okay, so continue to hold those shorts for the moment. We're definitely looking good. We just hit a few shorts here as well for our Premium Plus group. We got AVAX 36%, Litecoin 13%, Matic 12%, and then of course ETH 29%. That's an older trade there, of course. But generally speaking, phenomenal stuff. Definitely happy that's working well for majority of our members. And again, if you're new to the channel or just say you're using my day trading features, make sure that you try to avoid it when you have massive dumps like we have been having recently. Unfortunately, the trading bot can get a little confused and send both long and short signals concurrently because we get a lot of confirmational signs in both directions. Again, that's only to be used for day trading. Never let a day trade turn into a swing trade. Don't fall asleep on it. Okay, trust me on this. That's just how it works. Again, half the reason why I don't day trade anymore, because I just don't like the stress of having to watch the charts all day. That's me personally. So 4-hour time frame, let's work our way down actually from the daily. No, let's go with the weekly since we got a weekly candlestick closure here and kind of see where we're at. Excuse me, sorry. So what we're looking at yesterday, or just say, for the last week roughly, we can see that we had a doji candlestick closure there. It's basically a red doji. So kind of letting us know there's indecision in the market. The price wicked up and down within a full week's time frame, but closed close to where it had opened. That's kind of just letting us know, generally speaking, the price action is going in a different direction. In other words, the momentum can shift. Okay, now that can shift to the upside as well as it can to the downside. So doji candles can be misleading. When we see 2 doji candles, it's a very strong reversal pattern. But at this point here, we can see that we started this week off pretty poor here, roughly down about 1,000 for Bitcoin. See, what is the percentage on that? It's roughly maybe about 3% correction so far today. Okay, so not fantastic. Take a look at the weekly timeframes here, though. We can see we're still up over 50, not a terrible thing. Stochastic still swinging down, as we mentioned previously. And of course, money flow index is still moderately high. We're coming up on a weekly MACD divergence. This is not a great sign here. All the more reason to, again, kind of lean a little bit more towards that CME gap getting filled and potential for the price to continue lower. We take a look at our moving averages on the weekly. We can see we're still above all moving averages, so still, again, not bearish by any stretch. But again, we're starting to see that shift in momentum. Both the MACD and stochastic RSI, they're both momentum indicators. Those also essentially let us know that we are moving towards a shift in momentum. Okay. So that having been said, take a look at this here, 40,500 for Bitcoin right now, testing that lower level. We can see that we are below 50 in the RSI. I've talked about this previously. Not good conditions for long positions. Money flow index is low, stochastic is swinging down. We can also see MACD is picking up momentum again. Okay, so I know what you're saying too. Like if you are like a MACD player, for example, which sounds kind of funny, MACD and player at the same time, you can see that you would normally be like, oh, it's gonna switch, it's gonna shift momentum. It can't do this for very long. No, actually, honestly, I've seen MACD divergencies for like weeks or months on the daily time frame. Okay, so I would not say that the price action is just due to correct itself because we are overextended to the downside. Overextension means nothing in manipulation markets. Okay, and that's really what we're in. So you just got to understand, ever since the Bitcoin ETF, things have gotten very haywire and very unique. So you have seen less signals and just generally speaking, less interest in the market. I've seen a lot of my views have gone down because of it. And it's just kind of the way that goes. People kind of go into these little, they hide out when the price of Bitcoin pulls back, you know? So keep in mind, that's where we're at right now. All the more reason to continue to add to your position as the price comes down. Because I know years from now, we're going to be wishing we saw 40,000. We'll probably even be wishing we saw 49,000, honestly. So keep in mind, we're in pretty good shape here in the overall sense, but still not fantastic either. Having said that, we're in between all moving averages on the daily. So basically below the 50 and the 20, above the 100 and the 200. So we got some key level supports working their ways up and some resistances working their way down. Really just not the best conditions to take a trade. That's just, again, my personal opinion. We have a short position open from 43,000. We're holding it open. I believe we have a profit target in the 39,000 range. Once we hit that, we may reconsider for a long, depending on the certain conditions, right? Because I think 38 to 39,000 could be a bouncing point. But once again, we don't know. We'll bridge that gap when we get there. But we have a pretty solid amount of support here at this 38K range. Both previous daily candlestick closures, but also key fib levels, okay? So 4-hour time frame. To summarize, let's go ahead and dive into this here really quick. Let's just zoom in a little bit better so you can see this here. We can see stochastic RSI is trying to swing upwards, but it's basically bottomed out, okay? That means you don't take a trade, for the most part, or at least you don't use this indicator right now, because it doesn't really tell us too much. It just tells us it's massively floored out. We can see traditional RSIs at 30. Normally it's a bouncing point, but it's normally a bouncing point when money flow index is low. Money flow index is actually higher than the RSI right now, which is a strange thing. That leads me to believe there's a lot of manipulation in the market, because we should see MFI very low right now when the RSI is low with it. So when we see this is kind of a sign that the price action should come lower based on the fact that not enough money has come out of this coin here, and that it's considered to be oversold. Okay, so to me, I try to I avoid long positions specifically when I see that, which implies, in rare occasions, this is what this implies. It does imply that a short position is more viable than a long right now. Again, mainly because we got some conflicting factors, but everything else is fairly bearish. Okay, daily time frame is not looking so good either. So we look at the hourly here, and we can confirm that we are well below the cloud. We have been for some time. We're working our way down this descending trend until we can establish higher highs and higher lows. There is zero reason to take a long position right now, okay? If you're the buy the dip folk and you feel like you're getting a nice nice value, that's fine. I've bought plenty of dips here on my spot back, but I'm not doing leverage on these dips because they are completely flawed. In other words, there's very little reason to take a long position unless you're just gambling. Okay? And if you're the gambling type, that's fine. But I prefer not to gamble with my money. I do not like casinos. I'm not that kind of person. Okay, that's just me personally. And with me having a few hundred traders underneath me, there's no reason for me to want to take a long position with no merit to take in that position. There's literally no reason to take a long right now, minus overextension. And we've seen in these markets here that overextension means very little, considering the way the market has been manipulated. Take a quick look here at TD sequential. We came down to a 9, became overextended, reset, we're back down to a 4. So as you can see, the market's all over the place. A lot of buys orders, a lot of sell orders. The truth is, though, with this large amount of liquidity here at 41.1, I think 40,000 is inevitable to be retested. We should see that here soon, possibly even today. And I'd just be very, very surprised if the price rallies back here. Again, if it does drop, once more, 39.3 for a key level support based on CME gap. Once gaps are filled, they're commonly the price just turns itself right around. If it continues lower to 38K, we want to see if it holds that level. But do not just jump right in because the price is pulling back and you feel like it's a viable option to take a long position. We have no confirmational signs to take a long right now. Okay. Again, that's just what the TA is telling us. What are the market movers telling us? We don't know. They're not going to tell us until it's done, right? So right now at this point, based on what we've seen here so far, there's a significant amount of momentum to the downside. There's no reason to expect the price to turn itself around immediately. What we are hoping for is a little bit of a bounce here where the price comes up to just say 41.5 and we can get a decent position on some shorts for some altcoins. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here. So ideally, perfect world, that's what occurs. I'm looking to go maybe a little bit more short heavy on altcoins if we can get to the 41 to 41.5 range for Bitcoin. Right now, this doesn't seem to make any sense. I don't like to be a late short, honestly. So, okay, hopefully I made sense in this and how I described it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something here today, of course. You do want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. We got a few slots left available. Really a lot of new members coming over, so just heads up. Please, please, please read completely through the signals guide so you know how to structure your trades. Because the way that I send my premium signals, my swing trades, is way different than the day trades, okay? My day trading bot just works its butt off for me all day and every day, and it's essentially finding good entries in the market for you. You should not just arbitrarily follow those signals because it's a thing to do. You take those trades, you watch it closely, and you make sure that you are a responsible trader when you take day trades. That's how it works. Swing trades, you can be a little bit more casual, okay? That's what I prefer to do, honestly, anyways. Hope that made sense. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.